If you have ever failed in farming, welcome. You're not alone. You're actually welcome to the Mudhumeni Talk Show, because here we don't just celebrate the harvest, but we also talk about the dry spells too. We embrace the sweat, the setbacks, because here we understand that farming is not always fair and is never perfect. But it is in those imperfect moments, when the rains don't come and prices crash, that's when the real Mudhumeni is revealed. You, Mudhumeni Musaladhi. That means you carry the spirit of resilience. You don't quit, you learn, and you rise again like a phoenix. So you understand that agriculture isn't a quick hustle, but a commitment, a calling, and a lifestyle. So you are welcome, for this is your space, your voice, and your talk show. Now, damn, this is a good intro. So yeah, we're talking and starting like that today, because this isn't your typical agri-talk. Welcome back to Mudhumeni Talk Show, and let's get into it. Now, you have seen them online, the green crops, the smiling faces, the tractors, and the profits. But what you don't see is a farmer who lost an entire crop to fake seed. The one who got scammed by a middleman. The young entrepreneur or agripreneur whose project failed before the first harvest. Because agriculture these days is starting to feel like forest trading, where everyone shows their wins, but no one posts their losses. But real farmers know there are seasons of loss, and it's not always a single harvest, but it's always about consistency, resilience, and learning. So let me tell you about one of my stories. There was a time when I went all in on cabbages. Had the setup, the inputs, and the dreams. But what I didn't have was the market access, the transport, and the business mindset to say, offload it all now, even if the profit margin is tight. Instead, I bought into that internet illusion, that entrepreneur mentality where you wait for the big buyer, the perfect deal. And guess what? I ended up feeding my cabbages to the cattle, not because they were bad, but now they were starting to wilt because of overwatering. And I couldn't afford to keep irrigating a crop that was ready to leave the soil. Now, did I post that online? Of course not. But that is part of the story. That's the Mudhumeni talk. And that's the farmer in each and every one of us. So, as we learn and move in our lives, we learn from these kind of mistakes. For losses teaches us discipline. It shows you who's serious. It humbles you. It helps you and makes you be able to ask for help, to collaborate, and to research harder. The truth, most of the successful agribusinesses you admire today were built on failed seasons, repeatedly and silently. Because I've asked some farmers what their biggest losses were, and I've heard many farmers complaining about drought, the heat waves, and also others talking that they took a loan, planted 4 hectares of maize, and nothing came because of drought. And this now is very common, for we see farmers dodging debts, opening new accounts every season, selling their harvest for peanuts because they owe the input supplier or the bank. And you know what? It's nobody's fault. The bank didn't know you'd default, and you didn't know the season would betray you, but you tried. And that's exactly all it takes. You lose nothing in trying, but you lose something in not trying. That's why we are still here, still planting, hoping, and pushing. So until next time, and until you see someone showing off their harvest, clap for them. But always remember that there is always a BTS and always a backstory. So let's stop treating agriculture like a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a one-time win, but it's a lifestyle, a long game, and a long shot. So until next time, this is Mudhumeni Musaladhi, signing out.